Hey guys, morning. We're gonna start with some Beastmen today and switch later to Clan Angrund. Have two campaigns going together. Beastmen number 6 and Clan Angrund number 3. In Beastmen campaign, nothing really special going on. Just basically taking monitor stats. This campaign is still not rushed to complete, but it will be considered completed before the next Warhammer 2 update. And Nerfy, yoo-hoo! Senior Bank, Average Humanoid, Shurikando, and Hashu Champion. Just play some Gwent, had breakfast, and I'm drinking coffee. Time for us. I don't know how long it's gonna be today.
Have you seen that shit? Holy shit! What the hell?
Heck, Tom, thank you for the 19 months. What have I done? Pepe Hands, Belgrade has joined the ranks of the Wild Wars. It's a special campaign with special enabled, so it's unpredictable. You can actually say, what have Markonos and MC Megatron done? With a small scale, that campaign is starting to feel a little bit challenging now. Okay, we're slowly destroying the Empire Hill while we are buffing the rest of our Minotaurs. Two heroes looks like they are wounded in this army. Our Minotaur damage is at 233. We have 3 shield Minotaurs with poison. The situation on the world is pretty intense. Dwarves with 31 elements. And Bretonia with 20 elements. Lawton is number 2. We allied with Chaos, but they're not doing so good. Just the Rise of Chaos, they're pretty weak, pathetically so.
You catch me in 'em.
You see the wars outnumbering Chaos 3 to 1, you know that something is.
Certainly not.
What do we have here? We're still leveling other hordes. Only Malgor has a good army right now.
I cannot.
Oh man, this guy is onto something. Look at this shit.
Kazrak Dawaku.
So I don't think we're just taking Kemperbar, but we are in a bad shape. I don't know.
Kazrak.
No, we don't have battle skills.
Do you take me for a wazak?
These units are not easy to kill. They guaranteed do damage to our army. Also losing nearly 7,000 a turn, so it means we need to raise more cities. Everywhere we move, we are being threatened by attrition and getting outnumbered by the Bretonia. Bretonia, who are there clearly overtuned right now.
Do you take me for a child?
You destroy one of their armies within 3 turns, they get come back with an even better army. Totally busted right now, the Bretonia. It's very grindy to fight them in the. Like a lot of Skaven here. We need to get Kazrak here, and we need to raise Aldorf. Going for Aldorf is risky that we can get jumped by a lot of Bretonian armies. Not safe to move in this area at all. At all. Making matters worse, there is some petty corruption slowing us down as well.
Don't think so.
Any units, a couple of cows would help here. Get all the best figures here. We're still gonna keep going negative. Yoo-hoo!
Impossible.
Possible. I take Wiseman back and so we can throw him there. The Elsa Scourers here, I mean it's not big deal really. What do we have here? Replenishment event, okay. Characters needs to go back in the army here. Archer is back. last one. Who is missing? RuneScape. Minotaur damage at 244, which is more than double their damage, which is quite insane. Having a unit that doing double damage like that is absurd. Absurd. Sunny Boy says I have a super annoying bug. Whenever I place a unit, there is a 75% chance it will place like 40 meters on the right where I clicked. Even when I place multiple. That sounds weird. What faction are you playing there? Maybe a mod related. You know, I don't know what else would be causing it. Check the integrity of the files on the Steam. Hey, Colin. Yoo-hoo. Or is a level 4 here, but we have only one Gorbul, which is bizarre. Bizarre. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Sure which names are not taken. Well, yeah. Glad you're enjoying Beastmen Power. It's not all about the Minotaurs, but they're definitely the top unit. What's the best trade for the Lich Priests? Knowledgeable. Wise, second best. But you might wanna, you know, think about this. Now with Wise and trade the skill the Lich Priest has, plus some other stuff, you have easy access to veteran units. If that's a thing you want to go for, Wise is also very good now. Why is this guy just running around like? I'll get a couple of cows here for sure. Very expensive to build these things, but little lower upkeeps in some of these armies. It's way too expensive to maintain it right. This will give another 5 armor and 5 attack to the Harpies. Harpies still need attack. Just gonna be careful here. I mean, look at the situation here. Reichland. 3/4 of Reichland controlled by Bretonnia. So what the hell? Haven't even touched a single settlement there, somehow Bretonnia controls it. So definitely, you know, Bretonia's golden age right now. But the next update we're probably gonna get toned down, no usual go. Let me give you a permit, hold on. Yeah, the link should be saved anyways. Yeah, pause. This guy's just pathetic. These days, Vampire Coast just raise one settlement Take the other one, expand, and then lose the shit. Well, the thing is, it looks like you're trying to move a group that has a locked formation with a group that has with just a regular group. This causes some issues. Unlock the groups that you're trying to move and lock them later, or you have to move them separately. Numbers not bad here. 83, nice. This could be the issue, Sonny boys. And now voodoo do we even need? Don't really need that much.
God of freedom! By Simon!
The explosions.
Son Wuxla!
Large stuff here, so we can just go
Malagor!
to the Malagor 54. We need some replenishment here.
By Simon!
Horn first beast and Mr. Absolute. Clip Equation Malagor.
By Simon!
Oh my god. Have you seen that shit?
Mess up their accuracy here.
By Simon!
He's on a horse, he's gonna try to flee. Just need a poison. These are wood elves, you know, so they could potentially do some damage. But not really. All shaking their pajamas. Getting kited here. Oh, that was a mistake there. Hey, Chef. It says I'm a noob at the Horde factions when I should be trying to go for second army. Whenever it suits you. It's like not really a rule when you get a second army. I actually prefer focusing on building up the hordes before getting another horde. As you get too many at once, you're risking them getting targeted by spy satellites, and meaning they're gonna be targeted by everybody. They have to stick together with the other hordes, so you probably achieve nothing except feeding horde growth over 50, 60, 100 plus turns, which will also cost the economy. The system is really bad, in other words. So you can go for a couple of elite hordes around the Legendary Lords, or you can get a bunch of hordes and then feed them growth. With Beastmen is easy because they can hide, but with Chaos you need to stack them all together. Keep in mind, as Chaos you don't use Marauder units, they're all multiplayer. You use your first units you're using are the Chaos Warriors.
Grimdark!
so they don't take attrition. The Chaos Warhounds are not bad in the beginning on the port infrastructure. But you're limited, you know, every time you build a new building, next building takes longer to build, so usually you're just waiting for the best units instead of trying to mix things up. Game is anti-variety for the whole. With Chaos you do start with a second horde, so that's a little problem. Just stack growth on that horde, paint skills for upkeep reductions and horde growth. Upgrade the core building, and when you unlock a second legendary lord, you just replace the generic lord. Our captives and nothing happens. Just a visual pitch. First time playing Tomb Kings, how do you make money slowly? You expand, and sometimes you have possible options to get money. Economy is very slow with the Tomb Kings, so you have to be careful how you're spending daily money. But expansion is the main source of money. Get income buildings. Don't try to buy the get the expensive tier 3 buildings early. It's not really viable. With Chaos, yes, Chef. That should be Sigvald. Sigvald has more growth, so he should be the one growing new hordes always. Always replace him and make sure he grows new hordes. That's like the optimal. With Beastmen, as long as you start with Malagor, you will not have that issue. That's so many items. Runeskim is back. Why did he spawn so close there if he was winning this? Probably gonna get wounded again. Guys are very aggressive here.
Unwise. War darkness.
On Roman we have unrelenting warhead, so we attack in charge. Need 2 with this and 2 with that. A little bit ridiculous, it's turn 121, we have only 1 Gorbu leveled up. Ridiculous. In my opinion, the heroes in armies are leveling way too slow, they should level like 30% faster. We're trying to prevent them to go north. This one will get some miners. Hoof heavyweights. I don't know why I even put this skill here. That was a wasted point. I'm not even sure what I was thinking. Because we have to get this building and everything. But we have to unlock the veteran skills, so 3 points here. Fine. Yoo-hoo! We have 256 weapon strength. Holy shit! 256! And the base weapon strength is 110, which is already very high for a unit. 256 weapon strength, each one of those cows. 179 armor piercing damage. Insanity. Insanity. And then we can drop buff like Bloodlust, another 20% armor piercing damage. Mantle of Gorok, another 40% weapon strength. Which will increase another 60% armor piercing damage here. Oh man. I need a scout in the area here. Guys are way too aggressive. The Wars take a settlement, don't even build anything here. It's so hard to get down here. I would need a steamroller to get down there.
You dishonor me.
Much a steamroller. What the hell are these guys doing not taking any of these settlements? Trying to prevent them to expand in this area north. Tony is quite absurd. I move any bit closer here, we're gonna get jumped by 4+ armies. It's ridiculous. Everybody's plays so safe, it's gonna put me into a coma. How did the Empire campaign end? Short campaign victory. What the fuck is Bretonia doing in Reichland, man? What the fuck is this shit? Hey, Bumblem. It was not ruined Empire. We have not touched Reichland at all. And they have 3 regions in Reichland. Bretonia owns 3/4 of the Empire and we have not even touched it. Pretty sure we weren't the one who touched it. Must have been some Crooked Moon or somebody. Bretonia is owning most of Reichland, and the Empire is just like, sure, Lewin, be my guest. All the rest of the Empire is in ruins. We are making sure that nobody takes that shit from our enemies. Once we are trying to destroy it now.
Kiitos, Rafkand. Kutsu.
Damage is quite absurd. Quite absurd. The more I see, the more I can't believe it, you know, how fast the units get killed. You have to keep in mind, these are not just minotors. These are minotors on 100+% weapon strength. Actually at 130% plus right now. Everyone will be vegan. Well, in the real world, humans eat cow. In Warhammer world, cows eat humans. Minotors crave human flesh above anything else.
War darkness. They are chaos.
Other Minotors' weaknesses, they don't really have weaknesses. They have to be outnumbered by specialized units. Stuff like Wave Watchers and the Sister of Avalorn Shades could be damaging if they know how to focus fire. At the moment Minotaur gets close to those units just melt.
Not possible. Rafkand. Clear Amu.
The amount of Bretonnians here, it's only enhanced by us lacking proper armies. We only have one good army. It's a shit in progress and shit in progress, no battle skills. Whatever happens here, we take attrition. Quite annoying.
Clear sight.
Had to play safe around Bretonnia because they have a ridiculous amount of army, even just protect Aldorf. The only reason why our Empire is still alive is because of Bretonnia. Need to send somebody here to investigate this whole area here. Are there differences in campaign goals of Beastmen and Chaos? Not really. Empire has one settlement, but there are 4 Bretonnian armies in the area. And if we hide for a couple of turns, they're gonna leave the area, but they're gonna just try to take the ruins of the Empire. Honestly, don't really care about fighting Bretonnia. The armies get stomped in one attack on the field, their cities get bullied, but we just have to, you know, go careful around. As long as we are the ones doing the attacking, they're all gonna get deleted, so you just have to go slowly, hide, click kill, until they're all dead. Quite tedious. I'm not even sure we're gonna be fighting Bretonnia this game. whack-a-mole effect is just making these campaigns not really fun right now. The Beastmen and the Chaos. Everybody's ruined valor except the vampires. This is the state of the game right now, which makes it super tedious to play Chaos and Beastmen. And the fact that Bretonians are currently overpowered because of the you know, state of the game makes it even worse. That's over for once. Are you serious?
Father.
That ditch the man.
I am a lord of Bretonia. Never.
Looks like we can take down Aldorf. We do need a little distraction here. Are the vampires not fighting dwarves or something? What the hell is going on? Kill us for with dwarves. Dwarves are out of control this campaign. Absolutely out of control.
I will not.
I will
Looks
not.
like Carcassonne wants to take Weissman. Can't afford this big negative. We need to get upkeep productions everywhere now. If there is a capital every 10 turns, we can afford it. But we still have to get to Aldorf.
Can't be done. That is forbidden.
Large army here. Goal is to raise Aldorf right now. Get rid of the Empire at least, and then we just worry about Bretonia. We'll start chopping at the big cities if we need experience, serious experience. Like the best thing we can do here is go to Bretonia, right? What's the alternative? It's like what, third battle in a row we didn't get an ambush. Okay. The only army of the Empire. Might need to risk raising Aldorf. They're gonna see us coming. Has to be done. If I stake both my armies, they might not attack us. It's basically a suicide for them, but potentially we might lose units while they're gonna lose all their armies. But before we replenish, they're only gonna get all those armies back. What joy. Good Kazakh get Banger for minus. Are you insane? Kazakh is about Bestigos, not about minus. So no. Bestigos getting Vanguard would be a good thing. That must have taken some serious fire. Tempting got deleted, man, so fast. And we're dealing with so much damage that this spell is just click, 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 delete everybody. That's how much damage you're dealing. Well, it's clear that we have ridiculous damage, but we not really care about battles like this. We don't really care about battles like this. We want to see a scenario up close, preferably a siege battle, how much of the units can explode in a single charge on a much higher damage. It's clear that we do ridiculous damage. Don't even need this many costs for this bell. Is it like getting hit by a hero or something? Man, what the hell? How do you manage to get his weapon strength? Well, the Lord has slug skin for 20%, veteran battle skill for only 12%, there's technology for 20%. And then you can stake a hero trait, which each gives another 10%. So you see these 8 heroes, that's plus 80%. Each hero has the unsatiated bloodthirst, which increases the weapon strength for the Miners by 10%. Even just having one of these heroes or two of these heroes makes Miners do much higher damage, which they already have some of the highest melee damage in the game without any buffs. But with the buffs provided by the Beastmen, 52%, and then the stacking hero buff makes them really crazy. That's why I have so many heroes in the army. Some of the units get hit so hard they just instantly explode. Not just the entity that gets hit, but the entity to the left and the entity to the right just explode in bursts of blood.
I will not.
Are you serious? Kislev has taken this place, and now the Ostland rebels have emerged and created Ostland again. God. Gotta be kidding me.
My lady will not allow it.
On top of everything, the Miners have very high melee attack, very high defense, 15% physical resist, and they're massive and fast. So the infantry is like just gets chopped to pieces, while the large can't do much either. How the hell did we lose 3? Volkmar killed 3? What the fuck? Possible. Must be that invisible damage, you know, when you're not. Where the fuck does this button even exist, CA? What the fuck does this button even exist in the game? Won't see high elves or dark elves not get shit by with that button on their side.
Father. Zorhitch. Karl de Gutar.
enough shamans in the army for now. Hail. Give that guy more fortune. Or a wise one from. Like they know that we are here. Area might be a little problematic here. They will see this spray shit here. We're probably just gonna send north, right? Go north, boys. Make me proud, get rid of this bastard.
Not in this world or the other.
Here in Republic guys, did you finish the Clan campaign? Do you ever read titles? That's how that question sounds to me, so I get the response in kind. It's treaty, you know? What the hell? I was wondering, guys, since the turn is loading, has anybody played this game? I seen it recently. Anybody played the Warhammer 4000 Inquisitor Martyr since the game got released in 2.0 version? It does look fun. Talked with two people. I'm wondering what the other people say about it. Polito says you're currently playing it. How is it? It's way too expensive. Yeah, there was a sale recently. I'm just checking for laters. Mixed reviews, yeah, but the recent reviews are positive. I just like the look of the shooting and the gore that comes with it. It's a shame you can only just play as a Inquisitor in the first one. Look like there's an Inquisitor, Crusader Inquisitor, Assassin Inquisitor, and Psyker, I think. And the second one you're playing what, as a Tech Priest? I have to say the Chaos looks really good in that game. I mean, if you guys seen the main trailer, the Chaos looks so good. Can't play as Chaos, feels bad, man.
Big young.
Heretic! Heretic! Hey, McQuizzles. SKJ.
You dishonor.
Is it really nobody fighting Bretonia? Fucking hell, nobody's fighting him, they just have their borders fortified. Holy shit, it sucks so hard to play Beastmen Chaos right now.
Dawaksho, dance me Arifus.
Damage at 256.
Kawasak. Shayshak. Akajak.
Have the Minders at 266 weapon strength. 266. God, just seeing this number here. What the hell? 266. That's insane.
Dawskerleth. Zaku Abu. Kurkaku. Uyaktatsu.
Man, Grinson's getting bullied like crazy lately. Like dwarf domination all over again. The vampires went passive, the dwarves have been dominating hard. For the most part.
Very well. You catch me in a moment of less rage, creature. I may spare your soul.
I don't know what they are right now. Even doing something at the Volsgrad. The Norse can raise this one. Fortified every single city. The Karak zone killed quick. Oh man, really? God. They did, they did.
Look, Shayak. Rafa.
Hey, John.
Darfridu.
Aldorf, huh? Or like meat warehouse.
Dark Warman. Managor. Sweetler Chaos. Gorgor.
$326 with a 128 to attack. Oh man. Get in, boys, get in. We don't have to worry about that side there. We use voodoo. Trying to shoot their friend. Look at the horde of cows. Moo 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 moo. What are you doing there, friend? Trying to shoot here? Trying to shoot. What happened there? 266 damage, man. I need to try on a like a regular garrison or with one of those poison cows like this one here. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Insane. Look at this. Stats, man. Absolutely ridiculous. Like 3 elite units in one. Only at 8.2k health.
Paragon!
Any range damage that they try to prepare for us, we just use explosions and winds to interrupt their formation. We have enough power to spam it. But it says, Elich, when I'm enjoying the 40k atmosphere it brings, all in all a great game. It looks and feels really good, and I think if you approach the game, don't compare to the other RPGs. Action RPGs, there are plenty of weapons to choose from, and it feels great to punch heretics with all of them. The only thing that bothers me is the new expansion that is separate standalone game. I'm going to release few of those and merge them into the final cut for more cash. And they say that if you have the standalone, you can launch them from the same game. It's a standalone, but you can still it's a part of the main game. So if people want to just buy them separate, but the people who had the main game, you can still play it through the main game. It sounds like very good on their part. I'm probably gonna try that game eventually. I'm liking Warhammer 40k. Ching! Empire is dead.
Kazrak show! Dawak show! Dodge me Arifus!
And 7,000. So. Makes you wonder why they're still staying here like this. It's because the public order. Can't believe these guys just taking settlements in the Empire and then it rebels in a high corrupted area and it spawns Empire rebels. That was so messed up there. Colette, this is a nice army.
It is forbidden.
Nice army.
Do you take me for a wazak?
Looks like the dwarves are having problems with replenishment area. Alder was probably gonna just take him by the Betonia. So many factions that just back each other here that turn this into a really tedious grind. Nothing they can do because they're busy when you hide, we just hide and slowly raise everything. The fact they can just take the settlements back while we're raising the other ones, it just makes it worse. I don't recommend playing Beastmen and the Chaos right now. Games are we talking about? Warhammer 4000, Inquisitor Martyr, and Inquisitor Prophecy, I think.
Oh my god! Have you seen that shit? Holy shit! What the hell?
The hell. They actually had such nice movement there. Yoo-hoo! Hey, Rampage. Are you serious? This campaign is just no fun, man. This is the second time get destroyed during the Rise of Chaos. During Rise of Chaos. This shit is pathetic. Rise of Chaos, they're just getting bullied. Getting bullied by Kislev. Kislev were just the Empire clones. Shoot them with crosses and pistoliers. How the hell crosses and pistoliers kill Chaos Warriors?
Kazak Gulev.
Don't talk to me, lose my number. This campaign makes me cry, guys. Really wanna makes me cry. You know, those cows are all good and all, but everything else just makes me cry. All these ruined dwellers here are just absurd, while the vampires are AFK. I mean, look at this shit here. Probably gonna get destroyed by the dwarves the way this goes. And the Luen, Ike, Torgrim, all ruined dwelling, all the settlements. I bet you we got leave this area to go here to raise a couple settlements. All this will be like tier 3 plus, tier 5 before we come back again. Not fun, but only the 6th campaign. Well, we played the 6 campaigns in Warhammer 2. The state of the game changes every time. It's the current state of the Beastmen. It was not like this the last time we played. The game changes every update. You know, you might wanna play a little to experience it. Can't handle any toxic shit like that right now. The state of the campaign changes every time there is a big update. And it was not like this previous times. Oh man, I'm getting brain damage as well. I mean, we slowly can just destroy them all, but this shit seems like to be so tedious right now. Got enough of those annoying Bretonnians in the Empire campaign. Do you have movement here?
My lady will not allow it.
Not like we play 6 campaigns in the current update, Mr. Wise Guy. How is Karaghan still not confederated? It's a little bit weird. What, 19 kills? Pretty nice. Pretty much just complaining a little bit extra today, guys, because I'm a little bit burned out in the game. Don't feel like doing anything else right now. The state of the Beastmen right now is especially bad. But we knew that already for a couple of campaigns. Oh, it's a nice unicorn there. It's a shame something happens to it. But army doesn't have any AP, so it's just a Walter.
I can't say.
Them is trying to save those peasants. Why is there a unicorn? It's one of the mounts for the for damsels. Well, I mean, Faint Chance has a unique unicorn mount. How this peasant outrunning Bestigers? What the hell? It's because the Bestigers are sinking this skirmish speed with the peasants. And he's just kind of ruining the Bestiger speed. The game is trying to force you to just micro behind them, then attack. It's trying to make the player an idiot. Goddamn sinking. Well, Bestigers have pretty nice stats. They're also the fastest heavy infantry in the game. With the weapons building, battle skills, and the black skin, overall better than the Black Orcs. But this isn't really much to say. The green skin are always in the shitter. Speed on elite heavy infantry is better than extra toughness and damage. Because the weakness of the heavy infantry is speed. Slow. Well, you can't really compare it to dwarves because the hammer unit doesn't really fit the dwarf compositions. But the hammers are better than the Black Orcs and the Bestigers, so yeah. So you should compare shit factions with other shit factions to get a Scottish. You know, the faction didn't get any updates, proper updates. So the Bestigers comparison to the Black Orcs is perfect. Only hipsters use hammers anyways, since the great John Slayer is going to introduce hammers are just shit unit. Not only the John Slayers are so much faster at the cost of the armor on the hammers, but they're gonna be deleting anything that causes any threat to your range units. Did a Terrorgeist or anything anything a little large. All the hammers, by the time they get there, the Terrorgeist already hit the range units twice and flew away. makes the hammers unit that is not fit at Dwarf army anymore since the introduction of the Giant Slayers. But you can always be a special mob boy and use hammers, of course. There's always room for that. Well, Dallas, we always shit talk Slayers, but you're misunderstanding, and the Slayers were never bad. They will always shit talk because, you know, the Slayer memes. So I guess you've been missing the memes. You were always making fun of regular Slayers because Thunderers do the job better. Making the regular Slayers a unit that can do their job, but they're better units. Same as like Troll Hammer Torpedo. So what's the purpose of the Slayers? Multiplayer. Well, with the introduction of the Giant Slayers and the revamped Dwarf battle skills, the Giant Slayer is an actual unit you want to have in the army. One or two, which was using the role of Hammerers, which was just in the army, so you don't really like, what do you use Hammerers for? I just put them in the army, so you know, they're in the army with the rest of the troops, so they don't feel lonely. You know? The Giant Slayers actually have a role in the army for Doomstack. Because anything that is fast that can go around, the Giant Slayers just delete it. They like do more than double damage to large units compared to the Hammerers. Not only that, they are much faster. But since mainly the revamped battle skills what made the Slayer so good and actually a choice in the army instead of the alternatives. If they didn't do it like that, the alternatives would be better. As the Slayers taking extra casualties or the Troll Hammer Torpedo not having enough range makes various other units much better army. The reason why you don't want Hammers in the army is because the Iron Breakers are just better and they don't die. So this is number one why the Hammers are shit. Damage doesn't matter because the main damage from the dwarves comes from the range, and this brings to another problem: the overpowered, overtuned range damage in the game makes melee units look bad, and that's why the hammers are ignored. Basically, a flavor unit. You know, Slavers used to be a flavor unit. While look at this, Giant Slayer is actually a unit you put in the army, while the hammers are still flavor unit. A heavy armor heavy infantry that has really high melee damage, a flavor unit, tells you a lot about the state of the melee in the game. Fully buffed hammers can do godly amount of killing, but you have to go for less range units in the army. Otherwise, what's the point of putting hammers in the army? Because they're just gonna AFK there. You wanna put hammers in the army, you're gonna send them to do most of the killing, right? So you have to automatically do less range and focus more on melee, while the range just being support to kill the enemy range. And this type of gameplay nobody gives silly shit about. Why, you know, take unnecessary damage when your range can kill everything? Which then makes hammers just, let's say you control Giant Hall Mountains and there's 5 armies of chaos coming. Best garrison unit, hammers. You recruit a lord and a bunch of hammers and murder all the chaos in the siege. Hammers and thunderers to win battles in defense. It's pretty much their only role right now in the current game. You want to fight crazy outnumber against the chaos without facing in the field. There's something weird with this movement. Is it the movement debuff just activated for this turn? Sucks.
Sworn!
Well, if armor offered a more serious protection against the missiles, and the units had a little bit more HP, stuff like hammers would actually be quite scary. Stuff like hammers and black orcs should be impervious to missiles, minus the artillery, but they're not. They just get bullied by the range. Same goes for Chosen. Chosen should not take any damage from range. Only special units. That's why Chaos gets bullied hard. A little bit risky to go like this.
Not likely.
What else is to do with its army this turn? We have here the blue, white, red is too wide, so it's yellow. The double yellow goes to the bottom right. Left line goes 2 tiles to the left. Looks like might reach the anvil. Or the arrow. Anvil is here. Arrow is here. It can be the 3 or 4. One on the top. Like it goes here or here. And anvil, the second one is on. Looks like the one. The one looks like most likely. This one goes a little bit wider. I mean, it can only be arrow or the anvil. It cannot be anything else. Anvil is here and the arrow is here. No anvil or the arrow here. What about this box here? Here. Cannot be this one. You know it's not the second one. Must be the first one. If all units had natural missile resistance on top of armor and other things, the range would not be dominating as much. The developers want battles to go, under 5 minutes, so that. This is one of the last Empire settlements. I guess they might just rebel. Well, the vanilla games never had really good long battles. Warhammer 2 is the longest battles the Total War ever had. In any Total War, pretty much you need mods to make longer battles. The Creative Assembly just keep pushing fast battles for some reason. And I blame multiplayer for that. Think of it. Multiplayer is the reason why we have fast battles in Total War. God forbid there is a battle over 10 minutes. The only time there's a battle over 10 minutes is when the people have horse skirmishes. Medieval 2 has extreme long pace battles. I don't know when you played Medieval 2 last time, but that's not true. A cavalry charge breaks a unit, and within seconds all those units are prisoners and dead. The cavalry is broken in Medieval 2, and a general can solo the whole army. Must be remembering multiplayers. Well, sieges lasted longer because of the size of the cities. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Most people that don't have time for long battles, well, they should not play this game then. This is not a game for them. Long battles, God forbid they spend 3 more minutes in a battle. It's like the most stupid thing I ever heard. Oh man, I don't have time for 8-minute battle. Can we make it under 5 minutes? I got, you know, something to catch. This is the most stupid thing ever. I'm not talking about they make the battles 3 times longer. I'm talking about they make battles 20% longer. And they did between Warhammer 1 and 2. They did. But from the look of the 3 kingdoms, they just went to the fast battles again. So they made good improvements with Warhammer 2 or Warhammer 1, but they made it worse than 3 kingdoms again.
Zargon Arbath.
I need to try to block the charge just in case. Hey, come on, faces, thank you. I know, Booker, I know. I know. I play 3K? No, but don't worry. I have over 300 people on Steam. They told me pretty much everything about the game already. They can't help themselves. This is actually not good here. Trying to charge because Emperor Knights don't do damage without a charge. Think I'll play it in the future. If people request next year, sure. I mean, people could have requested this year, but nobody did. Personally, I don't care. The charge actually did damage. No help here, otherwise we doomed. I just need to make battles 20% longer. Talking average battle between, you know, average battle is probably like 8 minutes before you start stomping stuff. So those 8 minutes should be like 10 minutes. And even when you're stomping stuff, it should take another 24 seconds. At least 2 or 3 more attack intervals. And they did this between Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2. They lowered the base hit chance. They changed the minimal hit chance, maximal hit chance. Everybody got more HP. They did a good job between Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2. And then there comes 3 kingdoms, same shit as it used to be. Yeah, comparing to real life, it's pointless. In real life, like the bells, especially like pre-Renaissance, it would pretty much just be formations. A couple of guys get killed, then somebody gets outmaneuvered. People start fleeing, and most of the casualty happens due to disease and infection. Of course, there were bloody battles, but those were rare. The moment one side gets the upper hand, the battle is over. The Japanese in World War II, well, they were stubborn, but still, most of the casualties the Japanese had in World War II is because of lack of supplies. Most of them died to disease. Disease, hunger, infection, still. It's the #1 casualty in the war. Not the bullets. Not the bullets. The other thing. They don't talk about this. 1 or 2 weeks of supplies goes missing. Somebody interrupt the supply chain. All of a sudden, people no longer are fighting for their lives, you know, against bullets. They're starving to death. Fighting off diseases, infections, and this is like 10 times more worse in the ancient times, like in Roman times. You get hit by an arrow in a bad spot, you don't die, just get wounded. You're not gonna die from that arrow. You're gonna die from infection. You think the guy gets shot by an arrow, somebody yells medic, medic comes, sprays some alcohol, you know, fixes the wound, the guy keep firing like nothing happened? No, that doesn't happen. The guy has the arrow in his shoulder, in his hand, in his arm for the rest of the fight, and 3 days later he's dead. I know, Akitama, I know. True dead, what John says, true dead. You have to tend to the wounded. Dead are dead, you just leave them. Feels wrong, you know, not to tend to the wounded, you know. And it just then makes the matters worse. Going through for the northern in case these guys don't do it. Looks like they wanna get Marienburg, you know. Wanna get Aldorf. It's a little bit risky. Well, nice, you know, they're improving the campaign map. adding supplies and shit like that, but it all is for nothing if the bells are not tuned right. They should put more time optimizing bells, the duration, the melee and the range, than they should be trying to overcomplicate campaign map, trying to make this game something it is not. Then play Total War for the campaign. Having intricate campaign mechanics is good, but if the bells are not good, it's all for nothing. And they don't put enough time, you know, making bells good. That's why everybody's, you know, always, you know, buy the game. You know, what more can I get to make this game better without even playing it? You know, like every historical game, pretty much had really fast bells. They need to optimize the bells, the duration of the bells, and not really try making, you know, campaigns complicated. And it doesn't even bring anything to the game. It just what's the replay value if it's all just about you know, manage couple characters on the map and the bells are just the same shit all over again. Who cares about intricate campaign gameplay if the game has no campaign replay value? The same shit happened to Rome 2. You know, they totally started ignoring fixing the issues in Bell, and they just started, you know, overcomplicating campaign and just, you know, making it worse. It's funny because there are a couple of mods out there that made bells pretty good. Not even you know, crazy slow like in Divide and Para, and still they didn't really learn anything from it. It's like they just don't want to really get better by looking at different examples. Nobody even testing that shit. There's so many good mods out there, and they're doing nothing about, you know, improving the game by looking at that. They have this, you know, stubborn policies. You know, the battles have to be this long and that long, otherwise, you know, no. And it's the main issue is multiplayer. Main issue is multiplayer. The whole campaign gets messed up because of multiplayer, especially the battle durations. And even if 3 out of 10 people play multiplayer, does not justify the screwing the rest of the, you know, same people. And the multiplayer Total War is so imbalanced that they're never gonna nail it down, so they can just make it worse. I mean, there's a timer that goes 60 minutes. When did you guys last time see a battle that lasted over 20 minutes? This is not even long, 20 minutes, just normal stuff. I didn't even see him. I'm just renting, so I don't care. I don't care to see him. Your 3k battles last 20 minutes. Are you using formation shit and no archers? Did they add the broken Attila formations into 3k? Battles are never gonna be epic if they are short. and they're trying to give you epic battles. It's like they don't understand, how to make their own game. But as long as not many people are complaining, it's all right. What do I know? What do I know? I'm not making the game, just playing them. I'm not complaining about Warhammer 2 right now. I'm complaining about Total War in general, mainly historical battles. Shit's way too fast. Make everything else they are doing irrelevant. Warhammer 2 has things right. They actually did good between Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2. Why can they just not improve on top of that? Why they have to always try to make things differently? Like, Warhammer 2 has the battles, which Total Three Kingdoms will never have. Never. But Three Kingdoms has the campaign, which Warhammer will never have. They're forcing, different gameplay, so they don't make give it the same experience. That's just stupid. They try the same shit, between Rome 2 and Attila, and try hard to fix Rome 2 towards the end. You guys notice how in Warhammer 2 you get just basic bare bones campaign, while the battles are amazing, and in Three Kingdoms is the opposite. It's how they plan these things to do. So don't complain like every Total War is just a copy paste of a previous Total War in a different setting. They can't make battles good for some reason in historical battle games, so they're just pushing campaign features instead. And that's not Total War. Is it that hard to make battles last on average over 8 minutes? Lower the heat chances, lower the range damage. Is that so hard? But I have a feeling there is something underlying here. Like the longer the battles in these historical games, the more flaws will come out of the surface. Issues with the game, which comes to the lack of polish in the battles itself. And that was the issue in Rome 2. The longer the battle lasted, the more you see how broken it was. So that's why they made the auto-resolve so high in the player favor. You can just abuse auto-resolve in Rome 2 without ever playing battles. So if they aim at a battle that lasts longer, just the AI just will not really do something. Because they make the AI have only one plan, and that plan is usually attack, and they just do a couple of maneuvers and that's it. That's all they have. After that, the AI breaks. And in a longer battles, this would require much more work to polish. And that's probably why we are not going to be getting ever longer battles, really longer battles, because they have to put a lot of work into the AI. So the AI is not a glass train. Instead, it's more like a Lego train. Every time it tries to do something, a couple of pieces break. But it still has pieces to work with until it breaks completely, which should be towards the end of the battle. And the only time you're gonna be losing when you are really outnumbered in those battles, you're not gonna go in anyways, so there's gonna be auto-resolved. So they have to work towards the Lego train, not the glass train. But that requires effort, right? They can't just work all day long, they have to have the coffee breaks and take donuts and shit. We don't want to complain to the local union, how they're overworked like those guys from Rockstar and shit like that. But this is all mumbo jumbo here, guys. Take it for what it is. All just jibber jabber, ranting. But playing Total War games for 20,000 hours, I have eyes. I seen shit. I don't just click buttons. It should count for something, right? Yeah, probably. I mean, 10 years later, we're gonna have over 1 billion gamers on the planet, and the hardcore minority is relevant. 10 years later, it's gonna be even more. Another 10 years, we're gonna be extinct. Games like this probably not even gonna exist anymore. You're gonna be able to play it on your console, on your mobile, or you're taking a dump. Reap Total War for 2040. It's all gonna be about money. All gonna be about money at that point. Strategy games are dying. They're getting streamlined.
Those are captured.
The way I see it, the future historical games will just have intricate campaign gameplay, while the battles still shitty as ever in the historical games. When a game is forcing you to play with mods, you know, it's just not right. Like in Warhammer 2 is fine. Don't even have to play it with mods. When historical games, not good without the mods. Battles too fast. So they probably just gonna be working on making campaign, you know, livelier, but the battles are they're just ignoring, you know, improvements there. Yeah, Divide and Impera is pretty good for Rome 2. Because the vanilla battles are too fast. Radius was good until they released Desert Kingdoms and they killed it. It's not really a challenge, Constant Top. It's not really a challenge about Impera. It's just you managing, you know, more depth while things are slower. And you know, Divide and Impera is a good example how the game should not be how you know the game is too slow, both campaign wise and battle wise. They really went for the, you know, like the for the experience there, much slower paced experience. I'm not asking for that in official Total War games. No, I'm just asking for a little slower, like 20% slower, not over 2 times slower. Doesn't mean that Divide and Impera is bad. They did a good job by making that. If the official games were just a little bit like Divide and Impera, it would be already much better. Makes you wonder who are these people who work at the Creative Assembly when those modders at Divide and Impera do much better work. And I know we sound like what I'm called entitled, you know, complainers. You know, it's like, oh, my job is hard. It's hard to make an AI that works for 3 minutes. You know, who the hell are these guys that do this shit, create the spaghetti bowls in CA, when the modders always do a better job? Who actually gives them the vision to create what they're supposed to create? Who tasted that shit? And the guys in the basement, they don't even get paid for this shit, make things better. And this counts for somebody who's not even really that big fan of mods. But I still, you know, recognize, you know, the mods doing things better. It's almost like, you know, they're, you know, like some people say, adjusting numbers. It's all about adjusting numbers. You know, but, you know, CA, you know, fails at adjusting numbers. These guys are not even getting paid for it, they do a good job. And the CA has all the tools at their disposal. They can create things the mods can never create. Because a lot of things is hardcoded now to prevent overhauls, so they can, you know, sell more DLCs. And they still I feel like we're getting minimal effort. It's really sad to say, but I feel like we're getting minimal effort. They're adding all these shit, all these systems on top of what is already been, but when the core doesn't get changed much, you know, and the game has only been replayed to death, how are they, you know, thinking they're gonna bring people back to the game? People who, you know, casuals who play the game just for like campaign or two. Some of the mods are definitely trying a little bit too hard, and this is not what people want to have, you know, in a game, especially people, you know, who, you know, don't want to put a lot of effort in the game. But goddamn, man, this is a strategy game. This is a learning curve. You know, are you supposed to try to get into a strategy game if you don't want to put time and effort into it? It's not fair to the strategy genre. Go play something else. And this is what kind of treatment we're getting with the game design. I feel like lately. And makes me really sad.
Enough cut, father.
We need to put some stuff here. Well, CA is still far from the some other companies that went definitely down the shit. They do care. They do care more than the others, but I feel like they're slowly going that line as the other companies. But I have to say they do care more than the others. But for how long? How long?
Chaos.
The CM might be one of the last good companies that actually is out there. We're gonna send this guy to Norden. I mean, Booker is gonna be a casual game. Those games don't take a lot of effort, you know, especially, you know, I don't think the character assembly is gonna be working in that game. They're basically just trying to tap into more mobile markets. Should not really think much about that card game. Don't not think much about it. Just like just another random mobile game. And the fact it's Total War, it's cool. It's not like they're trying to make Hearthstone or Gwent. Or any semi-competitive game. Probably just a casual, fun card game. These games don't require a lot of resources or effort to create. And they definitely make money for the companies. So what do we have here? Guys, if you don't know, the most dangerous AI Bretonian unit is the Questing Knights. They only have one here, so this army is not very threatening. I'm a fan of collectible card games. I'm a fan, and I do need a card game in my life. Sometimes when, you know, I'm doing other things or want to listen to some music or just want to have some downtime, play a card game. It's still a strategy game. And the card games are perfect for the mobile markets. So it's a win-win. They're definitely trying to milk it a little bit more than they're supposed to be milked. But, you know, that's capitalism, you know. All this shit, these card games are overpriced to the regular games for sure. can pair strategy in RNG? Well, depends on the card game. You're probably just talking from the Hearthstone perspective. It's unfair to the other card games. Of course, it's a card game, it's the luck of the draw, and you know, if you're gonna get the synergy between your draws, there is always some randomness. Even in Total War, there is some randomness, but you can't say that every card is just RNG. Like, for example, Gwent. Gwent has like minimal RNG. It's unfair to the Gwent to compare it like that.
Beastmen!
Or you are one of those who that loses in card games and then blames it on the RNG. Could be one of those as well. There are many of those out there as well. It's more to a card game than RNG. But some games are heavily influenced by RNG. Doesn't mean it's every game it's gonna be like that. Like in Hearthstone, you play one round, so you're going all in that round. While in Gwent, you're playing up to 3 rounds. There's already much more strategy there. And the fact the deck is 25 cards, and you get mulligans through the rounds, the RNG is minimal. They make sure of it. More about the strategy, making the right call, than the actual RNG.
Dark beasts! Dark beasts! Dark island!
There were card games before Hearthstone, and Hearthstone did give a little bit bad name to the card games, some kind of stigma around them. But not every game is Hearthstone. And Hearthstone has become something that was not planned to become, just because of you know, Twitch and streamers. This was never really the purpose of Hearthstone, so these issues are just more highlighted like that.
Chaos bird! Percussion! Chaos good! Gaga! Hunters up! Chaos good!
What the hell this guy shooting there? No.
Fighting God! God! Force!
They don't have armor piercing units, Scar J. The Knights of the Realm cannot kill a heavy infantry like this. Questing Knights would be good, but to face our army they would need at least 8 to 10 Questing Knights, which they do not have. You have to remember Bestigors are armored, so facing anything without armor piercing damage is just gonna take damage, not any casualties at all. Armor saves lives. I'm surprised these peasants are not routed yet. Considering their whole unit is stretched like that across and getting stuck between 2 units as well. Well, this is armored infantry. The Knights of the Realm are no match for the Bestigors. They would kill the Gors, but not the Bestigors. That's perfectly acceptable. Questing Knights, on the other hand, would kill Bestigors. You have to understand, the Bestigor has 10,000 health and 95 armor. Questing Knights don't have armor piercing damage, and they have way less health than models. So they will deal some charge, but no kills. And slowly they're just gonna get killed. If their charge doesn't cause casualties, they cannot win. That's why they have armor and the health. This unit is supposed to survive any units that have not armor piercing damage. Armor saves lives, so your units just take damage, not casualties. And if they cannot deal casualties, they cannot win. That's how the Chosen win most of their battles. They just don't die. They don't die while they kill everything. Chosen are even a more extreme example. They have 80 models, and each model has over 100 health. So this is a real elite unit. Look at the Questing Knights, 48 casualties. One of the Knights of the Realm did 55 kills, but it was on the Ungors. Only the Questing Knights had the damage for this battle. Minotaurs is the best Beastmen unit constant top. But have you seen our economy? Minus 7,000 a turn. Khazar has 30% cheaper Bestigors, so it's more effective to use the Bestigors there. We would definitely could use a couple Minotaurs in that army to kill some bigger threats faster. Khazar has 30% cheaper Bestigors, so Bestigors are much cheaper. And since we are losing nearly 8,000 a turn, we do need cheap units. So they are cost effective for his army. And dwarves are out of control this campaign. Look at this. Because the vampire is being AFK and the green seeds are just getting bullied. Makes me sad, man. Makes me sad what was happening to skins. I remember my last Greens campaign we played recently, and it just it makes me feel even worse. The upkeep bug. We did hit critical mass there, but the performance of the units is so sad. No buffs on the veteran range. Technologies that make you cry. Grimgor is still a beast, but it just gets knocked down all the time without even taking damage. So sad. An Elich spells Minotaurs if it sounded like monitors so cute. What? Who said nerve dwarves? Send that man to the doctors. Don't need to nerf dwarves, you just have to activate vampires and buff the greenskins. You know what that's saying, what we say, you know, what's best in life? What's best in life? You know, the Conan question. To buff the dwarves, nerf the chaos, and hear the lamentation of the greenskins. This is basically the state of this game since the release of Warhammer 1. Dwarves will be being buffed every single update because of multiplayer. Chaos getting nerfed every single update because of crybabies. And the greenskins are just crying and crying and crying because they're being forgotten. And everything around them is just getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and greenskins are just, you know, getting weaker. How says Elich, what would you said if a character assembly would do 1-2 mount updates like CD Projekt does for Gwent? Man, that would be insane. I would love them for it. We need faction ambassadors for Total War and regular updates. Heck, I might even start playing multiplayer if they do that. Kappa. Never know.
I refuse.
Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Let's look at that.
I must keep my holy vow. No.
So it looks like they removed any brain cells the vampires have, and they gave it all to Bretonnians. Bretonnians, the expansionist, ruined dweller, greenskin spammer scum, have taken everything from the other factions. Reliable. So they're spamming faster than the greenskins now, more numerous than the greenskins, ruining dwelling more than the vampires, and they're the biggest expansionist faction currently in the game. Only downside is like their factions are limited to certain areas and are not prone to expansion like the minor factions, so for example dwarves. So the dwarves have potential for better confederations. I said a few weeks ago you were gonna be the biggest Total War multiplayer on Twitch. What? Oh here, come on man, don't take shit seriously. You know, there's sometimes kappa there, kappa here. So it looks like most of this campaign we're just gonna be whack-a-moling the they outnumber our forces, so we just have to whack-a-mole. The other faction is expanding way too slow here. The current state of the game is just not friendly for the Beastmen and the Chaos. Ambush. 4 damage with halberds. What faction has been the most fun for me? Dwarves, Empire, Vampire Counts. I can have fun with a lot of factions. I have fun pretty much with every faction except Exes of Neg and maybe Kalosoric. Because Kalosoric just triggers me because State of Grand Pepe. Put the poison at here. We'll put all the poison ones on the demigryphs, including the great weapons. Put all the buffs here. I have more fun playing Crooked Moon than Agents of Neko Carlos Soric. But you know, I am one of those people who actually likes Greenskins. He tries to like them, but they're hard to like. They're just there for the memes, guys. This being me being Twitch streamer here and streaming this game regularly, makes it even worse. They're just real memes, real memes. You guys just making memes of this shit. We complaining and people just memeing. Nothing ever gets changed. Game like this, we can't really say it's like a small game, but considering the multiplayer, it's definitely a small game. One of them data games, considering the current state of the universe and the planet 2019 data. There's nobody playing it on Twitch. Let's say you have like an active player who's really hardcore about it, wasting hundreds of hours playing data games or something else, and pushing certain strategies that might not be seen as the best. And somehow he gets some kind of attention from somewhere, and all of a sudden the people seeing these units actually doing something. And then next month, these unknown units which are not really played regularly, get a nerf just because somebody is overplaying them too much. You could say abusing them, and all of a sudden in this data game units getting changed, their stats nerfed just because a certain person has started abusing something that is not supposed to even be abused in the first place. Not an easy type of abuse, but some kind of niche type of abuse, and by just spamming this shit it can start like a chain of nerfs to these units. That's what kind of mentality we have regarding multiplayer. Everything gets abused, gets nerfed. It might not be the obvious things at first, but all of a sudden the things get played, and the way you see it, everybody's playing it. And then the simulation guy in the CA headquarters looks at the monitor. Oh my god, somebody started spamming Wolf Riders. Why does all of a sudden everybody spamming Wolf Riders? Every single composition has Wolf Riders. You gotta do something about it. Next page, Wolf Riders -1 melee attack. That's how it is. I like to think, the greenskins were good in multiplayer for a long time, because of, a few people, playing well with them, and that's the reason why the greenskins have been overlooked for so long. I mean, there can't be any other explanation, right? There just can't be any other explanation than this. if any of these people actually play this game, to actually see what they're doing, things will get much more sense. Otherwise, we just have to use logic why these units, getting nerfed, and it's usually, multiplayer stuff, right? No doubt those people that play multiplayer, those all 50 people, they're complaining, single player is ruining their multiplayer experience. Always have to blame somebody. Woohoo! Why do we have to even go here? Those bastards are living there in the mountains and nobody is going to get them. Problem.
Not in this world or the other.
I am a lord of Bretonia. Never.
Why are these guys moving so far here? I've been definitely ranting too long today, guys, right? What do you guys think about me ranting about these things? This is tedious and frustrating, tiring to you as it is to me. You guys want to hear more of this?
Do you take me for a child?
Ranting equals content. You heard it about 10-15 times already. Yeah, it's definitely repetitive. Definitely repetitive. But when you're a streamer, you have to repeat yourself like a parrot quite often. Quite often. Either people asking the same question for a million times, or try to get your message heard. Somebody might be listening eventually. Okay. Can we get a rant about the ranting? No, we're not there yet. You don't think well, that's what a bird sounds like. Booker says, so Mr. Streamer, could you do me a favor and win less? I'm looking for a more tense battles between player and AI. So saying I should be starting to losing some battles. Why are there 10 mages in my army? I'm stacking minor damage. Unsatiated bloodthirst. Or bloodlust. Each hero in the army increases the damage of the minors by 10%. That's, if you're not been paying attention, these are not the regular minors. You've seen the battles, how the minors delete everything super fast. It's because they're doing over double their regular damage. Because you don't need 15 minors in the battle. 8, 9 is enough with double damage, so they are just deleting everything much faster. We have 266 weapon strength. Wurzuk is a lot of fun, but last Bloody Hands campaign we had special on and it got sabotaged brutally. So I actually had to concede because we were just circling the drain and losing. The garrisons made it impossible. But Wurzuk is great. It's probably the best Gnitskin Lord. In the currently. What you said? I'm the best. Gilmour is gonna call me anytime now. Anytime, he's gonna say I'm talking shit again about him. Guys AFK here. Okay, what do we have here? Is this a Reddit topic? Okay. Anyone else getting tired of streamers destroying the AI on Legendary 3 Kingdoms? Who the hell is playing 3 Kingdoms? Arkar is not playing it, Fenrir is not playing it, Legend is not playing it, Nerd is not playing it, I'm not playing it. Who the hell is still playing it? I have found more than anything that watching this legendary playthrough is that the streamer rarely, if ever, has a difficult situation. So it doesn't like when people are being good at the game. It's gotten rather stale. I want to see a struggle of human and AI. I have found a newer stream that really makes me feel interested in it. He tries and overcomes the defeats instead of loading saves to get the best result. What the hell? You can load on Legendary? Yeah. Been watching, he's been nail biting, is okay. It looks like somebody is trying to shift attention to somebody else. I mean, a lot of streamers use the meta tactics to win or some serious cheese in some cases. Meta tactics. So they're saying we are not using gutter bombers on legendary and hammerers. Meta tactics. This is why I just can't care about watching the majority of streamers. They'll just spend 15 minutes running a lone unit around the game with a single unit so the AI have no ammo for anything when the fight actually begins, shortly followed by complaining about how the game is too easy. Oh man, Legend of Total War, what are you doing? You're wrecking things for everybody else. Legend of Total War, ding 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 ding, is just ruining the business, making us look all bad. Legendary enemy range units will not fire at general though, or anything over normal. Guess it's different in the king. It's almost like they're just watching Legend Total War and nobody else, and they're just complaining about him, you know, indirectly. Just don't want to say about him. Legend does everything, anything, so he can minimize the casualties and you know, win. The winner. This one got downvoted. Play the game understanding that it might be difficult to win. That's what increased difficulty meant to do. But some people take offense at the idea of adversity and look at the ways to cheese it. Perfectly legit. Just wondering instruct to watch what the OP is saying. Maybe I should link in my army with rank 9 spearmen. Play the game understanding that it might be difficult to win. Try playing Legendary without cheese and see how far you get. That man, I only ate cheese today, man. It's like why I'm winning in my Beastmen campaign. Had some nice cheese sandwich. That's what the increased difficulty is meant to do, but some people take offense to the idea of adversity and look for ways to cheese it. The literal only way to beat Legendary in games like Warhammer was to exploit ranged units because melee is unviable due to stat buffs. Melee is not viable, huh? Legendary isn't a challenge, it's cancer that deserves to be exploited until CA learns how to make decent AI and not just buff AI stats for artificial difficulty. Laughing, you know I'm fucking correct. Find me a single person that can play Legend difficulty correctly, and I'll find you a person with dozens of lost campaigns. Yeah. Guy says how it is. Cheesing is not the little only way to beat legendary. Relax, partner. I've done it twice. You just need to be slower, not cheesier. This guy deserves an upvote. You know, Skynet said that the biggest cheese in Total War is playing carefully. Yeah, pretty much what this guy also says correct. What are you talking about saving? Can you save in Three Kingdoms on Legendary? And don't watch streamers and play the game yourself. Seems like the obvious solution. Oh man. That's why I have Booker, guys. He finds the best topics on Reddit. And who has times to go through everything on Reddit, right? I was actually reading something on Gladius discussion boards. Something that's, you know, really a little bit just even upsetting, you might say. Some guy has issues with streaming Gladius because they switched to Vulkan, so you can no longer capture a game. You have to capture window, and he's trying, you know, to find help. You know, it's like a technical issue, and then you have a person like this saying, "Streamers?" Question mark. Go back to Fortnite. Streamers are such a new novelty these days. Novelty? Streamers have been doing shit for over a decade now. Everyone looking for their 1 minute of fame. Streamers are the last thing you want in some regards. This complaining you're trying to do, don't you have any sense? Don't you understand this Vulcan trip is a studio trying to invent something new? Kids these days should have had age limits of 30 years and up for certain genres. Guys living in 2004 or something. Stuff like this is why I don't really want to interact on the internet, like Reddit and forums. Just there are people like this who just want to suck your life out of you. It's very tiring, man, to put some time and effort even trying to help people when there are people like that trying to. Anyways, boys, where are we? Where are we? We need to destroy that one there. Looks like they did not make a move here. This army could definitely use a little bit better stuff, but the thing is, if we start getting doom stacks everywhere, we are going to go into negative 12, 13,000s. So you have to be a little bit patient. This campaign is not going anywhere. There's a lot of Bertoni to grind through, so we'll be playing it over a longer period of time. I still want to see a little bit buffs on the Minotaurs, and I want to see them in a situation where they're actually fighting one-on-one against at least tier 2 or tier 3, tier 4 unit. I just want to see that impact. But let me show you something. The current state of the campaign with Bertonia stomping everybody and the dwarves become a superpower. This is a very dangerous world for the beast. Very dangerous world. Oh man. I don't know. Can I hide here, guys? Is it okay with you that I hide here that the air doesn't see me? But I'm cheesing the game. Should I just be here so I get stomped by 4 armies? But please, can I hide here? Just don't spam stink cheese in chat, please, guys. I can't handle it anymore. Thank you. Yeah, what do we have here? Looks like it might be this pyramid thingy. Is this one telling me what it is? Here, this one here, pyramid thingy. But we see this thing here, and this thing here, and this thing here and here. They're turn around a little bit, right? It might be the pyramid thing, right? Almost like they're debating you with this one. I'm gonna click the pyramid. This is, you know, the Beastmen are, you know, sometimes pretty chillax campaign, but ranting a bit today and complaining about Bretonia, very much connected to me being a little bit burnt out on this game and a little bit of ranting as well. The Beastmen are definitely a different experience, but the set of Bretonia and the set of the vampires, shit gets out of control, and the whack-a-moling just makes it worse. That's why we are not just digging into this campaign and having a campaign on the side. I've been a little bit burnt out for a while now, especially since that Emperor campaign finished. We need fresh content for sure. But I don't feel like playing anything else right now, so we're gonna be playing this. Roski, don't overcome the puzzle. The arrow is really pointing towards the answer. Well, I feel like, you know, that the other one tries to trick you. I had a simple approach towards them, but I was failing half the time. And then, you know, I started overcomplicating things. Made the dices and the Sudoku worse. It's funny how the lines one with the face have become the easiest one for me, and the Sudoku has become the hardest, because there have been a couple of examples where it could be one of the 2 solutions, and this one is just trying to, you know, trick you. Of course, the easiest one is still the one where you have to guess which one doesn't have its pair, but the lines have been the second easiest for me for a while since the Emperor campaign. I do still try to use a couple of brain cells on top instead of using the, you know, the cheat sheets. Mazmuni campaign is gonna be later. There's plan this year for Mazmuni campaign, yeah. Emerald Dragon says, play whatever you want, I'm only here for Booker now. Oh, sounds to me, Booker, you got a fun there. It's fair enough. You do what you do. What you do. What you wanna do. Hey, Simir. We'll be switching to our Clan Iron campaign, which has turned into quite a challenge thanks to the chat sabotage. And it's gonna be even a little bit more challenging than usual due to small scale. But we're not losing a dwarf campaign, it's not gonna happen. Okay, down with the Beastmen part 8. see ya with Clan Angrund within 20 minutes. Any plans for a Wolfrey campaign? We just played the Wolfrey recently. You missed it? Check the YouTube. Hold on. I guess we're not switching yet. There's a million. Rainme says, any good TV shows you watched lately? I recommend The Boys. I watched The Boys. Very good. Very good. I liked it a lot. Shows. I'm watching Men in the High Castle. I recommend it. I've seen the first 4 episodes. And definitely looks binge worthy. There are 3 seasons out. Other than that, I think I'm gonna be watching Altered Carbon after that. Yes, they had a long stream, so I didn't get to watch any episodes, but we did get a long stream done at least. Switching to the Clan Iron campaign. See you boys within 20 minutes. Riverdale. Ah man, don't speak shit out loud. I'm watching Riverdale, slowly, my Archie fix for the week, month.